Before you get to the voicemails, did y'all hear what Anthony Mackie said
Yeah,
about success is kind of given?
Yeah.
that's a fact.
It's not like you work hard and you're
That is
successful.
accurate.
You have to be given success.
To an extent, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter how hard you work, you have to be put in a position for it to pay off.
Someone has to say yes at some point, no
the-
matter how hard you work.
Word in them factories, they've been working. Niggas get here, they be working and working and working and nothing pops.
Nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart. Like, I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given.
That's good for Captain America. Take our money.
Because you can be the most brilliant.
Oh, word.
Don't tap
For the
into
MCU got our money.
This word.
Yeah.
So, Bond, I don't understand why niggas.
Yeah, stop it.
So I don't understand why niggas have there's nothing to say. That's
No, I agree with it.
disagrees.
No,
Yeah, I don't
niggas
agree.
disagree, and
How?
niggas are so there's
To an
a
extent,
nuance.
that's 100% accurate.
There's a nuance to that because everybody's going to say, well, like hard work and prepare, but that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about the niggas that don't work hard. What he's saying is mad people work hard, and mad people try, and mad people are prepared,
And fail.
right? And they fail.
Correct.
And if there's 10 niggas that work hard for the same position, 9 of them aren't going to get that position.
Correct.
Yes.
Probably 10 of them.
I mean,
They're
look
gonna
at the
highlight their
NBA.
fans and
Yeah.
Look at the NFL. Look-
Oh,
look at
and that's
any
crazy. That's an
professional
awesome
league.
point. 10 niggas are prepared for the role. It might go to the 11th nigga who's not even prepared because he knows the nigga.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's how it always goes. It's not I
But-
don't even understand.
So
I think the part that everybody's forgetting out of that is that, yes, you have to be given an opportunity for success.
You gotta be
But-
ready for that.
No matter what, you still have to work hard
Yeah.
for the opportunity. You
But
know what I
he's
mean?
talking
That's the part
about
that
the
people
niggas that
forget.
work hard.
People are taking it as if it's just like, it doesn't make a difference if you work hard. Don't work
have
hard.
to work hard
You
no
have to
matter
work
what.
hard, and yes.
Either way.
Yes.
But he made
You have
that
to work
point,
hard
though.
without the opportunity or work hard and still get it. Either
Yes.
way, you have to work hard. Work ethic, but he's preached that. He didn't say, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't understand why there's
Yeah.
even any pushback.
I-
The nigga said everything correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the people that are disagreeing with it are trying to use it as like.
I'm not
don't work hard.
disagreeing
Same
with it.
people that missed the Puerto Rico.
But and
I'm
you
Puerto
remember
Rican.
he's
Same-
talking
same
about
shit.
lying to his kids. So he's basically saying we keep telling our kids if they do everything right,
That it
things
work
are going
out.
to work out for them, and that's not a fact. What he's
just not
saying
the
is
truth.
true.
So I don't disagree with it. I think it's a strange message, and he did start off about how he did start off about talking to your children, and I think to tell your children, no matter how hard you work,
It might not pop. It's crazy.
you got to be tapped on the shoulder, as he said. That wouldn't be the message I would teach to my daughters. I'll say that much.
Why
Even
not,
if
though?
it is a harsh
got it.
reality, that ain't the message that I'm trying to give them, because I think it could quickly lead to discouragement. You know what I mean? I think that they could sit there and be putting all this work in and feel like this work is fruitless.
And if it ain't gonna be nothing,
Nah.
I think it's too. I think he's right. That makes sense. It's too early to tell them at a certain age, right? To tell them that even if you work hard, it can end up being a moot point.
Yeah.
Right. You tell them that later on. You can explain.
You
that.
can.
But however, I feel like that could lead.
Yeah,
to,
success is given is a tough lesson, and for me, it shouldn't be taught to an adolescent.
It's too young to.
So-
receive.
No, I've had the conversation with my daughters where I'll be like, it's not just working hard, it's working smart. There's a whole conversation around that. So I can say to them, it's not just you working hard. You could go to your job and work as hard as you want, but if you're not personable, if you don't know about, it was funny, I was just talking to somebody about this the other day, and the friend I was talking to, I was like, you're like that, you're like the Starks from Game of Thrones. You're mad honorable, you do everything right, you tell everyone what you're thinking. That doesn't serve you sometimes, depending on the environment you're in, because you don't know how to politic type of shit. You have to have everything. You have to know how to network, not just work hard. You have to know the right people. You have to put yourself in the right spaces. That's a full conversation. It's not just working hard. The nigga that's making 1 million songs in his basement, like the A&R is not gonna break into your crib. You have to go somewhere.
So again, his exact words were, "Success is not earned."
So
I have a problem with that.
I ain't mad at that. You
and
right.
I think
Too early to give that to the kids.
You said it's too early to give that to the kids,
Yes.
but I think we're messing up. It's kind of like people are working for the goal, right?
Okay.
It's supposed to be part of the journey. You work for the journey, you enjoy the journey, and this way you never feel like, oh, when I get there, like there's no end to it.
Yeah.
You do it because you enjoy it, and then you constantly, every day is a success and a goal, and you know that comes back to you instead of it just like, oh, we're working for this one thing, because then that's when you feel like the regret of I did all this and what I wanted didn't happen.
And
That's,
especially
in a
you-
perfect
you
world, that's
get it.
dope, but it don't work like that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
it doesn't
that's a
feel
moral
good to work.
victory.
You feel me? Like, I get what you're saying.
It depends on what you do, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, but if you're teaching a child, right, you need to wash the dishes every day. You need to clean your room every day for the goal of feeling good to live in a clean house. Take pride in your crib. That is impossible to understand. At
Yes, that is.
5, it's impossible to understand. Why can't I kick off my church shoes, throw my book bag on the ground?
Right.
That shit feels good.
Yeah.
That's what she doesn't understand it another way.
Right.
So you just have to every day get on her ass about it and say, pick those up,
Create habit.
pick that up.
Yep.
Those are yours. This
Yeah.
is your house. You live here. Take pride in it. And I have to say it repeatedly, once a day. Right? And it doesn't feel, and I get what you're saying, because in the perfect world, that's great.
Yeah.
Say, no, you do it because it should feel good to you, because it's a small victory, and that's fine, but it just don't work for a kid. That's all I'm saying. So I take back what I said, that he said everything correctly, because success is given, not earned, is a wild statement for a 9 or 10-year-old.
So
Yeah,
I'm
not all
taking
lessons are for
I'm thinking of
adolescents.
it in the sense of like a profession,
Yeah.
Okay.
a lifestyle, right? So basketball, for example. A kid will play basketball and love basketball. You know what I mean?
Till it's time to practice.
Even till it's time to practice. But then you get some kids that go to practice and they like, I just love basketball that much. I love practice. I love all of it. Right? They're not thinking about, oh, the end goal. They just think about, oh, right now I enjoy this and I got better than I was yesterday. I enjoy this. I got better. You know what I mean? Because then you get the kid who all you thought about was making it to D1 to make it to the league.
Yeah.
And you don't make it there. And the next thing, you feel like your whole life is wasted and you alcoholic.
It's a
Right.
fact.
So, and that's why, in my opinion, and I still not going against Anthony Mackie. I always try to put into perspective for my children what happiness is.
Yep.
Try to tell them to find out what happiness is, because happiness is not working till you die. Happiness may not be someone else's definition of success either. Anthony Mackie is saying success is not earned, is given. That may not be true if they're chasing their passion. If they love what they're doing and they only making $50,000 a year, $70,000 a year, and they can afford their lifestyle, they can still be happy, right? My version of success for them may not be that. I can't place that. I can't live vicariously through these kids, right? So
Yeah,
they got to
but
find
In
what
terms
happens.
of
could even-
what's funny is
hold
we
on. I
have
could
a
even
cultural
challenge
thing.
that.
Go.
It's happiness is fleeting. It's fulfillment.
Yep.
If you go through your life and you're searching for happiness, I heard somebody say it the other day. When you are practicing perseverance, when you're persevering in the moment, that shit is heavy. It don't feel like you're getting to the goal because you're in the middle of the process. Just like you said, when they come in the crib and you got to keep reminding your kid, the end goal isn't to take pride. It's the continual part of the process of saying no
Every day.
no every day, that eventually you get to the point where it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like if you aiming for fulfillment, it's a more balanced or harmonistic
Harmonious.
place, because fulfillment it's not dependent on being happy. It's not dependent on the goal. It's not dependent on pride. It's dependent on who you become in the process of this.
All that
of
stuff
fulfillment.
is like first world shit though. And it's funny because you were talking about culture earlier. Like the shit, like all the, and don't get me wrong, like being happy in it, being happy is cool and like fulfillment is great. But like those are all from perspectives of like my belly's full and I have a crib and so on and so forth. So
Not
like now
necessarily.
we can that's definitely that, because if you haven't eaten, niggas don't give a fuck if you're happy or fulfilled. Mission number one is going to get food. Niggas that are in Africa, they're not thinking about happiness or fulfillment. But food is the mission every fucking day. Where
But we
gonna
potted
get food
from
at?
the USA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
perspective.
know that, but I'm saying it's a general thing. When you're saying success is different for everybody, there's
Yeah.
still a base level of success, which is like across the board. Like I'm making enough to feed myself, feed the people I'm responsible for.
That may
pay
not
for
be
shelter
success
or
for
whatever.
everybody. No.
Like you said,
Okay,
let's say if
that's
it's
cool.
a third world.
Yeah.
Success is we
Survival.
We,
I'm
we
alive
successfully
tomorrow.
took down
Yeah.
this big
Yeah.
ass fucking lion,
And we gonna
and
eat
we can
for a
eat.
month.
Yeah.
That's success.
That's crazy.
That's fulfillment.
I remember-
That's happiness.
I remember
I-
when Latrell Sprewell turned down a contract because he said, I got to feed my family. I think they were offering him like $20 million a year or something crazy like that. It's not enough for me to feed my family.
It was 10 or 15
Okay,
million over
that's
2
we're
years.
And that
not-
was a lot
we're
of
not
money at
talking
that time.
about. We're not talking about like the.
But that's his
the
level of
exception.
success.
In terms of success is given, there are certain things like, so if we were to look at, you use basketball as an example, right? There are some people that are going to practice their asses off and work hard, extremely hard. And I mean, I get not having the conversation with kids because you don't want them to feel defeated, but it's
Discouraged.
to some level, they already recognize that they just can't put a name to it. Like the kid that works super hard at basketball, and then there's just a kid who's just naturally gifted and he doesn't practice at all, and somehow this nigga could just play.
And he's not going no more because they're too good now. So the nigga that doesn't practice isn't going to make it.
No,
They're
I
just
mean that's
too
a
good
good
now.
point. That's an awesome
Kids
point.
are just too good now.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. It's
So-
too advanced. The measuring stick has
And
gone.
then-
It's too far.
And everybody's going to basketball camp, and everyone's
Yeah.
parents are paying to train them, all this other stuff. What I'm
Niggas
saying
too
is,
good.
when you get to a point, and I think from Anthony Mackie's standpoint, one of the things he said to like qualify everything he was saying is like, yo, I've been doing this for a while. I've been in Academy Award nominated movies
2 of them.
and all of these things. And he's like, I still don't feel like I've arrived or whatever. I think his point is you can do everything right and shit will still not work out for you. I mean, that's a fact.
And I interpreted that differently. I interpreted that to mean his level of success or what his bar is maybe higher than what the normal person's is. If his level of success is I should be an Academy Award winning actor, then he's not going to stop until he gets there, or at least find a person who taps him on the shoulder and allows him to get to that success because he can't earn it.
But we're talking about proportional success to the amount of work put in. So
No,
what I'm
that's
saying
not
is,
what he's saying.
No, I understand, but what I'm saying is,
You just
if
trying
you
to
look at the
argue, dog.
example,
I swear
I'm
you
not.
are. Like,
What I'm saying,
everybody
if you look
agrees.
at the example, what he's saying is for the amount of work that he's put in and what he's accomplished, he doesn't feel like the success matches that.
You just said that.
I did.
Just
I did.
verbatim.
Yeah.
But
I didn't hear it that way.
Argue.
No, I'm
Because
saying I didn't hear it
you
that
don't
way.
never hear it that way, Reggie.
I didn't hear it
You
that
just
way.
waiting to respond.
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
just want to
listen.
get
I didn't
your
hear it
words
that way.
off. Go ahead, get your.
I
get
think-
your
Get your shots up.
I'm saying
shots
I
up.
didn't hear it that way.
I just told you you're not making it if you're not practicing.
I think what Anthony
Shots up.
Mackie,
Get your shots up, nigga. I'm on your team. I told you, man. Forget these niggas, man. It's me and you
1,000
against the
jumpers
world
a
today.
day.
nigga.
1,000 jumpers a
Get your
day.
shots up, nigga. What you talking about?
Go ahead, Don.
Told you, man.
what I think Anthony Mackie was missing from the statement is that you work hard for the opportunity. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. For more content, click over here. And most importantly, sign up for our Patreon. We need the money. Reg, stop lying.